What's going on, guys? Welcome to the course. So I hope you're really excited to get into this. Now, I have extensive, experience on YouTube. I currently have 5 YouTube channels, but you're obviously just focusing on one. You don't want to put the cart before the horse, okay? Now, currently my main channel has about 25,000. It's approaching 25,000 subscribers, and I've been growing it for about 2 years, and it's really on that precipice where it's hitting that compound curve, and hopefully will start growing rapidly, okay? So I've been a small YouTuber. I've been a medium YouTuber. I hope to be a big YouTuber. And really what you're going to get from me isn't like, somebody that's just kind of, made a video or two and then gone viral and gotten lucky, right? I don't believe in luck necessarily, but what I'm trying to say is I'm not just somebody that got, fortunate with the algorithm, okay? I've been putting in the work to grow my channel, so you're going to get my anecdotal experience plus anecdotal experience from other YouTubers that I know and network with on a day-to-day basis, and what actually has worked for me versus what hasn't, right? I've put in the work over 2 years, so hopefully by putting that work in, I've made mistakes and obviously seen certain things that work, so I can shorten your learning curve. So maybe if it was going to take you a year to grow your channel to 25,000 initially, maybe we can shorten that learning curve by you enrolling in this course and taking it seriously to like 3 or 4 months, right? Or maybe if it was going to take you 2 years, we can shorten that into like 8 months, right? So you can learn from all my successes so you can emulate them. Obviously, your channel might be different. Your niche might be different and all sorts of other things, but you can take the lessons and use them with your channel, right? Just the same, you can learn from my failures so you can avoid making them, right? There are some serious things that I wish that I had not done in my YouTube journey. I can't go back and change them now, and if you make them, you won't be able to change them either. But I can tell you what they are and make sure that you don't make them yourself so that your channel will grow faster and you won't hit those little speed bumps in the road that are really going to hinder your growth. Because some of these mistakes, and I'm not trying to, and I'm not trying to like scare you too heavily, but some of these mistakes are really tough to come back from. I know firsthand, okay? If I didn't make some of these mistakes, I would be willing to bet that my channel will be over 100,000 subscribers now. So pay attention. A lot of great value in this course, and I genuinely love talking YouTube. It's one of my passions, not only because I love creating content, I love editing videos, and I love just, the creative side of creating videos and hoping to see how they're going to do with the YouTube algorithm, right? I also really love YouTube because it's such a great business opportunity. It does not matter what channel you create. If you enjoy the niche, you can build a business around it. You can grow leads from your channel. You can build an audience around it and then build a legitimate business off the back of your audience on YouTube, right? So that obviously comes later, and that's not what this course is about. But I'm just trying to open your mind and expand your mind so that you understand there's so much potential with growing an audience on YouTube. It's one of the best long-form content places where you can then morph it into a business later and monetize your audience, okay? So first and foremost, I'm just going to go through and outline exactly what these lectures are going to be. I might add lectures in here. I might subtract them if some of this information gets outdated. But currently right now, at the time of creating this lecture, this is a lot of the best tips that I can give you. If you take these tips, it will help you grow a lot faster. So first is the niche down and grow, and I'm just going to jump through these really, really fast. If you niche down and grow, and I'm going to outline this in the very next lecture, it's one of the best things that you can do to grow your channel, okay? The next is to come up with content ideas, and that can be a struggle for a lot of YouTubers, but I'm going to give you some tips and tricks that are really going to expedite that process for you. Then we'll talk about the quality versus quantity debate. Then we'll move on to the importance of an uploading schedule. We'll talk clickbait, why you should and shouldn't do it, and certain chances that you're going to get opportunity-wise to do so. We'll talk everything that you need to know about the YouTube algorithm. I'll break that all down entirely for you so you can know when you're creating a video, what's going to give it the best chance to rank and be seen by more people, right? And potentially go viral. We'll also talk about getting views, subscribers from other channels, why buying subs, views, likes, comments, anything like that is a major no-no and is going to kill your channel. A lot of people do that, and then, as soon as I see somebody doing that, I'm like, oh, see ya. That's a big, big, big no-no, okay? So YouTube descriptions we'll cover, YouTube titles, YouTube tags. We'll also talk about your YouTube community and engaging with them to build an audience and a brand. You don't just want to, have them be viewers. You want to build an engaged community, okay? We'll also cover other innovative ways to grow your channel. I'm going to give you some really good tips there. We'll talk about the secret to quick growth, and then cover some mistakes to avoid. Like I said, if I could go back and avoid making the majority of the mistakes that I made, my channel will be a lot bigger right now, and my business would be a lot bigger. So I hope you're just as excited to get into this. I hope you can feel my passion. And with that being said, Let's just jump into it. So the very first tip that I want to give you, and this one's super important, it's going to make a massive difference for any size channel, but more specifically new channels when you're first starting out, or smaller channels that are under, say, 25,000 subscribers, right? So that is to niche down, especially when you're small. Why is this? Now, I learned this the hard way, okay, so that's why I'm preaching it. Not only did I learn it anecdotally the hard way by, launching many channels and growing my own channel to about 25,000 subscribers plus, but I've also learned it anecdotally through other, YouTubers that I network with, other courses that I've taken on top-tier YouTubers like Graham Stephan. So you really want to niche down. It's really going to help you build consistent views and grow an audience around that topic when you are small, okay? So it's going to give your videos more of a push in the algorithm, and your audience, the entirety of your audience, will be interested in watching your videos, okay? So I fought this for so long. I created videos. I'm into entrepreneurship and marketing in general and e-commerce, right? So I would create a video on like Shopify. Then the next video I'd create on like online arbitrage. Then the next video I'd create on like a broad entrepreneurship topic. And then the next video I'd create on like email marketing, right? And you can see how all those are so random that they're not niched down enough. So while certain people might be interested in multiple of those topics, they might have subscribed on one of my videos. Let's say I created a Shopify video or a few Shopify videos in a row, right? So people come, they see the Shopify videos, and they say, oh, I like this content, I'm going to subscribe. But then I hit them with an online arbitrage video, and they're like, that's weird, but I'm going to stay subscribed anyway, I'm just not interested in that. And then you hit them with an email marketing video and an online arbitrage video, right? And what I'm trying to say is that's not what they might have subscribed for. So if you're mixing and matching and giving them a bunch of different flavors, it's really going to be difficult to grow a channel and really get that initial push to grow your videos, get more views, get some subscribers, have anything really go viral, because you won't be utilizing the entirety of your audience to gain traction and build consistency on YouTube, right? So like I said, I fought this for so long, and as soon as I niched down and strictly just started creating online arbitrage videos, you can see the entirety of the backdrop is literally one of my reselling businesses. That's where I store all my inventory, right? So as soon as I started to do that, then obviously I started to gain traction and consistency, whereas before I would like release a video and then one might get like 1,000 views, and then the other one would get like 100 views, and then the other one would get like 300, and then one would get like 1,500 views, and the next one would get like 100, right? There was no consistency because my audience didn't know what I was going to pump out. They didn't know what to expect, and I lost a lot of subscribers on that as well, right? But as soon as I started pumping out consistent online arbitrage content on my main channel, then, the views started steadying out, right? Now I consistently upload and I'll get like 400 or 500 a day later, right? A good one, maybe like 1,000 views a day or two later. And the other ones that, really take off might get a few thousand to, 10,000 views eventually, right? But they're all consistently at that floor of like 400 or 500 right a day after I upload, right? So I'm slowly building out the consistency. I made that mistake. I don't want you to make that mistake. I'm telling you, you heard it here first. You don't have to listen to this, but this is one of the best ways to grow, niche down, build consistent views, and grow an audience around that topic when you're small, okay? By all means, you can branch out and go broader and try new things when you do get a little bit bigger. I would say 25,000 plus. That doesn't mean go out and try a bunch of different things, right? But maybe if you build maybe if you build like a channel around like sewing, random example, right? So maybe you build a channel around sewing. You don't want to start introducing new topics too soon, but eventually once you get a little bit bigger, you can try other things that are similar to sewing and, that you might like, maybe the business side of sewing, right? Maybe where you find your supplies. Maybe, you also have an interest that is fitness, right? So you start integrating that into your sewing videos as well, right? But don't branch out too much too fast. It's just an idea. You want to niche down when you're small, okay? If you do go too broad when your channel is new, you will be fighting an uphill battle. And the number one question when I start talking about YouTube, and I'm sure you're asking it yourself or you will ask it eventually, is how do I grow on YouTube faster? How do I get more subscribers? How do I get more views? This is the easiest way to, basically get less friction and grow faster, right? Niche down. So I want to give you some insight on how you can come up with more content ideas if you're struggling for that. Now, I know when a lot of people start, there's either two sides of the group, right? Either you have a lot of content ideas or you have practically none and you're struggling to constantly come up with content ideas to make new videos, right? regardless, if you're even on the side where you have a lot of content ideas, there will be a time, I promise you, when you come across, running out of ideas and kind of strapping for, looking for other potential good video ideas to make, okay? So today we're going to talk about good ways that you can come up with content ideas if you're struggling. So first and foremost is other similar channels' most popular videos, right? So look at other similar channels that are in your niche and look at their most popular videos. You can go to that by literally going to their channel, clicking on video, sorting by most popular, and looking at what's worked for them, right? So keys here are they have to be similar, they have to be related in your niche, and they have to be the relevant size of your channel, right? If your channel's only 1,000 subscribers and you're looking at a channel with 500,000 subscribers, their most popular videos are not going to be a good indicator of what can potentially work for you because you don't have the same channel authority, right? Now, if you have 1,000 subscribers and you're looking at a channel that's similar niche with 10,000, then that's a little bit better of an indicator because they're not that much higher than you on that spectrum, right? So use your judgment. Other similar channels, look at their most popular videos and make sure that they have a similar sub count than you or they're not crazily ahead of you, right? So you can also use the search bar to come up with topics around a niche that people are searching for. So for me, for example, if we go to YouTube, and this is super underutilized, and a lot of people used to teach it, but a lot of people get away from it now because they think it's like, oh my God, we're in the future and it doesn't really work anymore, but it still works very, very well, right? So you come to the search bar and you literally type in, if I were trying to come up with a content idea, my channel, my main channel is based on like online arbitrage, reselling, and stuff like that, right? So what I would type in is like reselling and see what pops up. Reselling sneakers, it's telling me, literally YouTube is telling me that this is what it thinks I'm searching for because the majority of people type in reselling sneakers. A lot of people are typing in reselling on eBay. A lot of people are typing in reselling business. So what I could say is maybe I come up with a content idea of like how to start a reselling business for beginners, right? And that might be a good idea. Reselling on Poshmark. How to get started reselling on Poshmark for beginners, right? How about, let's go to online arbitrage and see what pops up. So online arbitrage for FBA, online arbitrage sourcing. And keep in mind, you do want to look at the competition on these. So if we go back to like reselling, for example, reselling sneakers, let's go to reselling on Poshmark because that's obviously popping up enough. So what I want to look at is what are the channel sizes of these people that are ranking? What are the views and how long has it been since they posted them, right? This girl got 60,000 views 7 months ago. I would gladly take that. But is this something I can potentially rank for if I make a similar video that's just as good or if not better on this, right? And then basically rank it on this actual search term, right? So, and keep in mind, this is evergreen, okay? So if you're going after things like that, it very well could, kind of pop off and go viral very, very fast because there's obviously search traffic for it. But when you're looking for, something like this, like search traffic, it's going to be evergreen, right? So what evergreen means is it's long-term. It's going to bring consistent views over the long term of your channel, right? So it's going to consistently build out that view count over that number. And maybe you get to that 60,000 potentially in 7 months like this is showing instead of, the 60,000 in the 1 month and then it drops off and you don't get any more views, right? So it's evergreen. Keep that in mind. I like evergreen content. Don't get me wrong. You can go after viral videos as well. I'm going to talk about that here in a second. But evergreen's always the way to go. It's going to bring consistent views, consistent traffic and leads to your business and your YouTube channel, and consistent ad revenue so it's not spiking all the time. It stays relatively the same and continues to grow slowly. Okay? So this girl has 43,000 subscribers roughly. I have about 26, I think, currently at the time of filming this. So definitely rankable potentially. If I made a similar video on this, how I make 4,000 in 1 month selling Poshmark, which I have done before. I don't do it every single month, but I have done that before. I can make a similar video and potentially rank that, right? So 41 brands that sell on Poshmark for $50. I couldn't make a video on that because I don't necessarily have an expertise on that per se. I could make a similar video, but I wouldn't really want to. Here's one right here. A year ago, 180,000 views. Poshmark selling tips top seller. I could clearly make this video because I know a lot about Poshmark and reselling. I also am a top seller myself. So let's see if we have similar channel authority and I can potentially rank a video and search like this. 52,000.8 subscribers. I have about 26,000. She has more than me, about double, but it's not that crazy. It's not like I'm looking at 26,000 to 126,000. It's just double my subscriber count. So this is something I could potentially go after, and I might actually save this potentially to see. I'm going to put it in my watch later to see if I maybe want to make that video later, right? So that's another way you can do it. Like we talked about, similar channels and most popular videos, right? Or use the search bar to come up with topics around a niche that people are already searching for evergreen viewership and evergreen views, okay? Another great way is go to Google Trends. We all know how to go to Google Trends. You can do that on your phone, download the Google Trend app, or simply go to Google Trends on your phone, on your browser, or you can go to the computer version of Google Trends and literally look through the trends, but the key is to pick something that's related to your niche, okay? Perfect example is, you know, I live around Philadelphia, in the suburbs of Philadelphia, so I love the Sixers, obviously, right? So one thing I saw recently was like Ben Simmons was like trending on Google Trends, right? But I can't make a video on Ben Simmons, even though I know a lot about it, even though I care about it, even though it's trending and I potentially could get views, because it has nothing to do with my channel, okay? So Google Trends that are related to your channel and your niche, another great way to come up with content ideas that are going to get you good views. And finally, the last way, and probably the best way, is to literally use YouTube as a viewer yourself. Now, if you're creating a channel, then chances are you're also a user of YouTube yourself, right? And you like it, okay? So what you want to do is you want to use YouTube as a viewer yourself. You want to subscribe to other similar channels and other related channels that are in your niche. And you want to see what tends to be suggested to you and tends to be doing well for them, right? If you're subscribed to, like, for me, for example, I'm online arbitrage. I've said that a million times and you're going to hear it a million more times, okay? So if I'm subscribed to online arbitrage, I want to subscribe to about 20 potential other people that I like their content, that are also in online arbitrage as well, and are similar channel size to me, maybe a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit less, but then I want to see what's suggested to me, because if I see a video that's a week old from somebody that's similar to me, and it's getting good traction, it has good views, well, that's a perfect potential opportunity if I can make a similar video and I have a similar expertise, and we're in the same niche, which obviously all those things are true for this example. It's a perfect example and a perfect opportunity for me to make a video like that, assuming obviously that it is in the similar niche, okay? So that would just indicate that there's a potential opportunity in the YouTube marketplace for a video like that right now, because YouTube is suggesting it, okay? One key here, one word of caution. I used to do this when I first started out as well, but I didn't go after only relevant videos. So I would go after anything trending that I saw. Huge mistake, okay? So I did make my highest, I think, ad revenue month was like a $2,500 month with a 26,000 subscriber channel. That's pretty good. And at the time, I think I had like 9,000 subscribers. So I made like $2,500 ad revenue one month, and then like I think it fell off to like $1,500 the next month. And currently, I make like maybe $800 a month for my channel. Sometimes a little bit less, sometimes a little bit more. It's trending upward, so I'm excited about it. But at that time, I was probably earning like $200 or $300 a month. So seeing that ad revenue spike was awesome. It was huge. But it was a huge mistake because I got a lot of subscribers from that trending video. It was a mystery box video, and I made 3 of them. That's why they kind of dispersed like that. I got millions of views on those videos, which for me was like unheard of, okay? I have since hidden them on my channel for this specific reason that I'm talking about. But I got a lot of views, a lot of subscribers, and yes, a lot of ad revenue, but those people did not care about my content. They did not care about anything else I was making. They certainly didn't care about reselling or online arbitrage or anything else I had to say. They only were there for the mystery box videos. They subscribed for the mystery box videos, which had nothing to do with my channel, okay? So don't make the same mistake I did, because that torpedoed my channel for the next year, and I'm still feeling the repercussions of it because I simply went after a trending video, and then it killed my audience engagement. It killed my audience retention. Because what YouTube does, let's say you have 1,000 subscribers, right? YouTube is not going to push your video out to the feed of all 1,000 subscribers. It's just like any algorithm that gets kind of, seasoned, right? What it's going to do is it might push it out to like 100 of your subscribers if you have 1,000 and run a test phase, right? See how they engage with it. And if they tend to engage with it well and they start responding to it well, liking, commenting, watching through for enough time, then it'll push it out potentially to more of your audience and eventually the entire audience. So what I did and what I don't want you to do is, if you're making trending videos or videos that are kind of, just like we talked about in a previous video, that are all over the place, all over the place, niche-wise and subject-wise, somebody that comes to your video from one is going to subscribe thinking that that's what the content in the channel is about, and they're not going to care about a potential future video that's on a different topic. So build momentum, make similar content stuff, don't chase trends that have nothing to do with your channel, even if you potentially rank those videos very high, because it's going to kill your engagement. It's going to murder your channel in the future and make it very, very difficult to come back from, okay? Don't make that same mistake I did. So just to recap, you can use other similar channels, most popular videos. You can use the search bar to come up with content ideas for what people are searching for and go after evergreen viewership, and evergreen traffic. Google Trends is another great way, and you can also use YouTube yourself, subscribe to other similar channels, and see what tends to be doing well and is suggested to you. Just don't go after trends that have nothing to do with your content or your channel. So I want to take a brief moment to talk about quality versus quantity and what you should chase depending on what your goals are, okay? So obviously, ideally, you'd want quality and quantity. That said, often, and this is just my opinion, and this is from anecdotal experience myself, as well as what I heard from other people that I network with and also do YouTube and create content. Often in the beginning, you're not going to be good. You might think that you're good, or you might be self-aware and know that you're bad, okay? I still make some subpar videos here and there, and I still struggle with quality here and there as well. One thing I will say is it's important. Obviously, quality should be over quantity. Ideally, you'd want to make less content, but better content, because then you'd have to spend less time creating content, potentially making better videos, and you wouldn't have to create videos all the time. You could just create a good piece of content and a good video, put it up there, and it would gain more views than potentially like 4 or 5 videos that are all subpar, right? But often in the beginning, you need to learn quality through quantity. And what I mean by that is you're only going to get better by doing it. You're only going to get more comfortable in front of the camera, whether you're recording on a screen like this and screen sharing, or whether you're recording with a camera, like I have back there, and you're actually filming yourself talking from time to time, okay? So I would recommend that in the beginning when you're starting, or if you're not fully confident, or you think that you need to improve your quality, don't just go after quality, because then you're going to be frustrated by putting in hours and hours and hours of post-production and editing work only to get slow traction on your videos, right? So in the beginning, I think it's better to go after quantity and learn quality by producing a lot of videos, hence the quantity, okay? Because you're going to learn better by doing, like I said, you're going to learn better editing techniques, certain little things here and there that are going to make your videos better. You're going to be more confident once you do it more, right? So trial by fire, start doing it, learn quality through quantity, and that is my take on the quality versus quantity debate. I want to talk about the importance of an upload schedule when you're starting out, and really just, even when your channel has a lot of traction. Now, it is not necessary, in my opinion, to have an upload schedule, but it can certainly help you get traction. The main reason being is your audience, once you start building know, like, and trust with certain audience members and certain subscribers, they're going to come back and they're going to know when to expect your content. So it's going to give it that initial push to get it out there and get it eyes on other people that might not be potentially subscribed, that might not, potentially be getting your videos in their feed all the time, because the people that know, like, and trust you are going to know when your content comes out typically, and they're going to go to that video, or they're already going to have the bell notified, right, to get them notified. And they're going to go and watch your video first and give it that initial push to get it out there to other people. So upload schedule, while I do think people overemphasize these little things, in the grand scheme of things, I like to tie it back to a diet, not to get off on a tangent, but it's like people always ask me, because I used to be into nutrition and fitness a lot, and I still am, but I don't teach it anymore. What are certain little things? Should they do this diet plan, right? Should they do intermittent fasting? Should they only eat protein and do, literally cut out all the carbs on their diet? And I would always be like, another thing, right? It's like, should they do drop sets in the gym? Should they do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday split, or legs, or whatever, right? And what I'm trying to say is it's the same thing with an upload schedule and the same thing with YouTube. It's like people overlook the simplicity of it because they're looking for some secret, or they think it has to be so complex, and it doesn't, okay? So while I think upload schedule and things like this are one thing that you could totally overlook, because in the grand scheme of things, you should just be focused on putting out quality content, slowly improving your videos, and giving value to your audience. That is just like a diet, right? Just like working out. 95% of working out in a diet is literally just going through the motions, right? It's trying to improve your lifts every single day in the gym and get a little bit stronger. It's eating healthy. Super simple, right? It doesn't matter if you don't do any other complex stuff. If you just focus on those main things, you're going to get 95% of the way there. But people want to focus on the 5% of things that are like super complex that only matter once you're already there with the good simple stuff and you're already kind of progressing. Then the other little 5% makes a slight difference, right? But they want to ignore the 95% and they're focused on the 5% of stuff that doesn't really matter, and hence why they don't really see the results that they're looking for. Why am I telling you this? What's the metaphor, right? Same thing with YouTube, same thing with business, same thing with anything, right? Focus on what works for you. Focus on the important things. They're simple. They're always simple. It doesn't have to be complex. There's no secret. Quality content, get quality content out there, build traction, keep it in the same niche, and most importantly, improve your videos and give value to your audience. That said, if you do want to focus on the 5% that can potentially help, once you get there, an upload schedule can certainly do so because, like I said, it's going to let your audience know when to expect your content. One of the ways that you can do it is the same time every day, so potentially like 2 p.m. every single day is when I schedule my clip channel. The people that start to gain traction there know that the videos come out at 2 p.m. every single day, right? Another way that you could do it is, same time or days every single week, right? That's another way, reasonable example. Another few examples that most people tend to do that I see a lot across the industry are Monday, Wednesday, Friday split, or once a week if you're really producing high quality content, or every other day. The key here is it doesn't matter with your upload schedule. Like I said, it's not necessary. It can certainly help, but the key is just to try to keep it consistent as you can, because if you can keep it consistent, your audience is going to know when to expect your content, okay? Now, keep in mind too that you want to kind of look at your potential audience or your ideal audience that you're trying to grow. Where are they? Where do they live, right? That matters. What country? Because their country is going to dictate their time zone. When are they most likely going to be accessing YouTube, right? So I teach a lot of different people in the entire world, so I have viewership all over the world. But for my main online arbitrage channel, I'm mainly focused on US-based people because that's the easiest for me to teach because I'm in the US and I do online arbitrage in the US as well, right? So my ideal audience is somebody that's going to be on a similar time zone than me, depending, obviously you have like Eastern Standard Time, Central Time, and then Pacific Time in the US. But I need to keep in mind what time of the day is it, when these people are going to be accessing it. What is it lunch for them, right? Am I trying to put a video out at lunch when people can watch it on their lunch break? Am I trying to put a video out in the morning so people can watch it before they go to work, right? Am I trying to put a video up after dinner so people can watch it after they're settled down and ready to kind of do so? The whole point being, keep in mind where your ideal audience lives in the world, what their time zone is, and more importantly, when they'll be accessing YouTube and have the opportunity to see your video. So this is going to be a simple, quick lesson, and we're going to talk about clickbait here because I get this all the time, and it's a big mistake that I see new content creators making when they first launch their channel, okay? So I want to say, don't clickbait when you're small, okay? Don't do it. Don't clickbait when you're small. Instead, pick titles, and what I mean with clickbait is don't clickbait in your titles. Instead, pick titles that will rank in search results and bring you that evergreen content that we talked about, but also give YouTube a definite topic so they know who to suggest your videos to. So don't clickbait when you're small, right? Pick a definite title, a definite description, a definite topic, and try to rank for that so you get evergreen long-term videos and YouTube knows what your topic and your video is about so it can give that and push that to the more relevant people. So let's talk about the YouTube algorithm, and I'm going to give you 5 things that are going to help you better rank your videos and understand what the YouTube algorithm looks for when it's ranking videos on the platform related to other similar videos, right? So how can you outdo those other videos? Focus on these 5 things. First and foremost is watch time, okay? So typically the longer videos, just like any other platform, the longer videos, the longer you can keep someone on a piece of content, whether that's Instagram with a picture, whether that's YouTube with a video, or whether that's anywhere, the longer you keep someone on the video or the piece of content, the better for you, okay? So that being said, longer videos do tend to do better most of the time than shorter videos. Now, I found a sweet spot for me, and I've seen this across the board, and I think that this works for a number of reasons, but I'll outline a few for you here in a second, is 10 minutes and 1 second to 19 minutes and 59 seconds. Why is that? Why do you think? Now, I believe that because 10 minutes, anything over 10 minutes, you can monetize with multiple ads, okay? And at the end of the day, YouTube is a business, okay? So YouTube tends to suggest, and this has not been proven, they're never going to admit it, but YouTube tends to suggest other videos that have more ads on them, obviously, and have watch time and audience retention. So if you're putting like an ad every couple seconds, that's obviously not going to keep the audience engaged and retain them on the video. So YouTube's not going to suggest that, right? But if you can nail the watch time and you can add multiple ad breaks in your video, maybe on a 10-minute video you add one in the middle, right? One in the beginning and one at the end, which obviously the one always comes in the beginning. You can add the one at the end inside your Creator Studio on that video, and then maybe you add one in the middle at like 5 or 6 minutes. That's potentially going to do a lot better than a video that's 10 minutes and doesn't have any other ad breaks except the one in the beginning. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? So typically the best watch time, in my opinion, is 10 minutes and 1 second so that you can monetize those long videos. Even if you're not monetized yet, you will be able to do that in the future. So shoot for 10 minutes and 1 second. And below 1959, because there's something about that 20 number that people, it's kind of like that law of, death by 1,000 cuts. Most people, unless you've really built up a brand equity with them, there's some people where this doesn't apply, but most people are not going to want to watch a 20+ minute video, or they won't watch that currently. So if they see it, they won't click it and start watching it, simply because they're not going full-heartedly into it saying, I want to invest 20 minutes into this video that I know nothing about, right? So typically speaking, they're either going to ignore that or they're going to add it to watch later and then probably never get around to watching it and delete it later. So if you can keep it between that sweet spot, you're going to do the two of the best things, right? So you're going to get more ad revenue, obviously, because you're going to have longer videos, and longer videos tend to do better on the platform, but you're also going to keep it with it under 20 minutes, so more people will be more inclined to click it and not feel like they're investing 20 minutes into their time, right? Because if you keep somebody on with like short videos, it's the same thing with like Netflix or YouTube or Instagram, right? Or any of these, TikTok, for example, right? It's death by 1,000 cuts. You keep consuming 60-second videos on TikTok, for example, or, pictures on Instagram. It doesn't seem like it's a lot when you chunk it in one by one. But as you add them up, you're going to spend a lot more time on that platform, death by 1,000 cut-wise, than you would investing an hour into a potential YouTube video. The whole key here is don't go too far out of the way with it. That's what I'm trying to say. Stay below 20 minutes, but also try to go above 10 if you can. Now, one thing I will say about this is don't sacrifice quality for length, okay? To give you an example, a 2-minute video, so don't stretch a video on purpose just to try to get it to 10 minutes. It's just something to potentially shoot for, okay? It's just something to remember and keep in mind. Don't sacrifice the quality for the length. A 2-minute video with an average watch time of 1:30, because it's good and relevant and keeps people engaged, will do a lot better than a 20-minute video with an average watch time of 1 minute, okay? So longer videos don't always do better, but they will over time typically tend to perform better because there's potentially more to watch in that video, hence why you're going to accumulate more watch time, okay? So hope that helps. That's number one. Number two is click-through rate. Now, what is click-through rate? Click-through rate is how often people click on your thumbnails compared to other potential similar thumbnails that they're potentially being suggested to, right? So how click-through rate works is, let's say your thumbnail is going up against another thumbnail that's very, very similar. You've made a similar video to another content creator, and both of those tend to get suggested. YouTube's going to test this out and see how many, maybe it's 100 people, maybe it's 1,000, maybe it's 10, right? They're going to see who clicks on which thumbnail more. That's click-through rate, right? And maybe your thumbnail beats out this thumbnail, so this drops down to the bottom of the algorithm and doesn't get suggested as much anymore. But then it goes up against another one, right? It goes up against thumbnail C instead of thumbnail B. And maybe you beat out that one, but maybe you lose to the next one, thumbnail D, right? So click-through rate is huge, and one of the best ways that you can improve your click-through rate is better thumbnails, right? Improve your thumbnails. It's one of the most overlooked things on all of YouTube. People spend, and I don't get it. I still make, garbage thumbnails here and there because I rush them. But one of the things you can do to this, and I'll talk about that here in the next segment in a second, is create your thumbnails and your titles first. So that way you're not rushing to and excited to get the video out. You're literally going to create the thumbnail and you'll have it ready when the video airs. And plus, your video and your thumbnail will be relevant to the video, as opposed to if you created the video first and then try to make a thumbnail afterward. You might not find the right pictures, you might not find the right things, so just keep that in mind, okay? Click-through rate, improve your thumbnails, and two of the best ways to do this is Photoshop and Canva. Now, Photoshop, I think, is $9.99 a month or $19.99 a month. I don't remember how much I pay for it. Highly recommend Photoshop. It's super, super crucial for creating good thumbnails, but if you're just looking for something free to create them in the meantime, Canva is a free software. It's a website you can go to, and you can make thumbnails for free, okay? So watch time and click-through rate. The next factor is audience retention. So you want to capture your audience attention right away. And it's been said you have about 3 to 10 seconds. I would say 20 seconds is above the full, you don't have 20 seconds. Some people have said that. I would say you probably realistically have about 3 to 10 seconds max. So keep that in mind, right? YouTube is a competitive place, so make sure that you have a compelling hook in the beginning of your video that's going to capture people's attention and want to make them continue to watch the video, right? If you don't, people will just click off your video to another video because they're constantly, the way that the algorithm's set up and the way that the software is set up, doesn't matter if you're watching on desktop or if they're watching on mobile, they're constantly being suggested other videos on the side or below the video as they're scrolling, right? So if you don't do this, people will just click off to another video if you don't captivate them and you don't capture their attention, okay? So one of the ways, like I just said, is you can do this by improve your audience retention and your watch time and your click-through rate, obviously, by creating your thumbnails and your titles first. That's going to keep your video relevant. It's going to give you, it's kind of reverse engineering and working backwards. Works great. If you don't believe me, just try it 1 or 2 times. You will see just how much better your thumbnails and your videos turn out because they'll be related, right? So what I'm trying to say here is they're going to see the thumbnail, right? And then they're going to click on the video, and your video is actually going to be exactly what they intended to get, right? By clicking on that thumbnail, and you're going to convert and retain a lot more of the audience, as opposed to if you created a video, then created a thumbnail afterward that you thought looked good, but they might have clicked on that video because they saw the thumbnail and realized that the video wasn't necessarily 100% match of the thumbnail, right? So try creating your thumbnails and your titles first. Huge game changer, major YouTube creator hack, okay? Now, the next thing is to relate to them and their interests. Pretty self-explanatory. Talk about what they want, not what you want. Tell them immediately why they should care, what they'll get out of watching, right? Make sure that they know that they're in the right place and that the video that they clicked on is exactly what they're getting, exactly what they're about to get, right? Reiterate that point and captivate them. Audience retention is the third thing. Number 4 and 5 are engagement and session starts and session time, okay? Engagement, pretty self-explanatory. That's your likes, your comments, your dislikes. Yes, even dislikes help your video, assuming you don't have more dislikes than your likes, okay? Pretty self-explanatory. We all know that. They don't matter as much as they used to, but they do still matter, okay? And one of the things that a lot of people overlook is session start times and session time. So session start times is when you bring somebody to YouTube or somebody clicks on your video from an outside source, or they come to YouTube and they get suggested your video and they hop onto your content. That starts the session, right? Now your session time is how long, there's 2 session times, right? How long you keep them engaged on your content and your videos, 1 session time. How long you keep them engaged on YouTube in general from starting on one of your videos, even if they go to other videos, is the 2nd session time. They both matter, session starts and session time, okay? So what you want to do is you want to bring people to YouTube and you want to keep them there. That doesn't mean that you cannot link off. It doesn't mean that you can't promote your Instagram. It doesn't mean that you can't promote your other social media. It doesn't mean that you can't sell a product and link it in the description. But just keep that in mind. The more you keep people on YouTube and continuously keep them on the platform and bringing them back to YouTube, the more YouTube will reward you. They've literally said countless times, it's right from the terms of service, YouTube rewards creators that keep viewers on the platform longer. Period. Self-explanatory, okay? So your main goal should be, overall to just keep them on YouTube and keep them watching longer. Ideally, that's your videos, but even if it's not, just keep them on YouTube. Now, some of the most typical ways that you can do this that are going to help you: utilize cards, utilize playlists, utilize linking related videos that might interest them, and utilize end screens. But that's, to recap, that's the 5 things that are the most important that YouTube looks for when ranking your videos against other related videos in the YouTube algorithm. I want to introduce you to a commenting growth method that's going to help you get more brand exposure and get more subs, potentially more views, obviously, and at least grow awareness in your niche, okay? So what is it and how can you utilize it? Well, basically what it is commenting on other related channels to get more visibility and free traffic, potential views, and subscribers, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to figure out, who's got your potential viewers, who's got your potential customers in your niche, right? So specifically, right? So we've covered this before. I'm in online arbitrage and reselling. So I would identify maybe, and you don't need to go crazy in the beginning, maybe start with like 5 to 10, then slowly add 5 to 10 more every week or something like that, right? Until you get to like 100, and you don't have to go crazy, but you can obviously scale this up to whatever you want to do it and get more brand exposure this way, okay? So I might go identify maybe, 5 to 10, all the way up to 100 potential other channels that are all the same, similar niche as me, all based in online arbitrage or reselling, right? I'm going to go there, I'm going to subscribe to them, and I'm going to hit the bell notification. What's that going to do? Well, I'm going to get notified now when these people drop videos as soon as they do, right? Because I have the sub and the bell notified, right? So I'm going to go there to their video as soon as I get the sub or the bell notification. I'm going to go to their video, watch a little bit, and then comment with something thoughtful and insightful. Now keep this in mind. I used to see this on my channel when I used to do this a lot more. Don't go to a video and just comment just to comment to be seen. People are smart, customers are smart, and people will know that you're doing that, and it's going to look horrible for your brand, okay? So it's very, very different. Two sides of the spectrum. Going there, utilizing this, and trying to get something out of everybody and get subs and get views and get potential brand awareness by going and literally commenting something right away without even watching the video. I used to see right through those people every single time they'd comment on my video and be like, you didn't watch it clearly, okay? So, yes, you want to sub and bell. Yes, you want to go there practically immediately or within the first hour. And yes, you want to comment something insightful and thoughtful, but watch the video, or at least watch a couple minutes of the video so you can comment something insightful, okay? Don't comment something random just to stand out, because people will see right through that, okay? Now you can use the little asterisks here. So asterisks and then what you want to say, and then asterisks at the end to stand out. What that's going to do is it's going to bold your text. If you've ever seen that, that's how you do that. There's other ways that you can stand out on YouTube, but that's my favorite. Don't do that every time though. Don't be the bold guy. Otherwise that will annoy people as well. Use it sporadically, use it sparingly, and use it to stand out here and there to get more brand exposure, potential eyes on your potential channel. Now, you're never going to go somewhere and be like, hey, subscribe to my channel, because people are not going to subscribe to your channel, and you're going to be that guy, right, or that girl. Don't do that. But if you go and you subscribe and you start building up awareness, and the same people that are frequenting those videos are clearly going to be interested in your niche as well and videos that you're creating on that content. So maybe they potentially click on your channel, or because it literally shows your name and your channel there, and it's also going to show your subscriber count. So maybe eventually they get curious and they decide, I want to see what this guy's all about, and they click on your channel, and they happen to realize that you're making similar content to what they're also interested in, and that is how you use the commenting growth method to get potential views, subs, and potential brand awareness. So just like Gary Vee kind of made this thing famous on Instagram, right? He had that $1.80 strategy where he was like, go to 90 related other Instagram posts and give your 2 cents, hence the $1.80, to gain exposure in that niche. Same overall method, just with YouTube. So this is going to be a very simple and to the point lecture, but it's super crucial. So please, please, please heed my warning, okay? Don't buy subs, don't buy views, don't buy comments, and don't buy likes. Why am I telling you that? Is it because there's some all-powerful YouTube algorithm or YouTube, overseer that's going to find out that you did it? No, not necessarily. But even if, let's assume that you went to a website that wasn't shady, right? They're all already shady because I've looked into them previously when I was thinking about doing it when I first started my channel. Everybody goes through that point where they kind of hit the, okay, I'm not really getting the traction I want. Is it time to buy subscribers to get to that X mark? Or maybe buy subscribers to get monetized, right? To get that to that 1,000 hour or the 1,000 subscriber tier, essentially, to get potentially ad revenue, right? And what I'm trying to tell you is, even if you went to a website and it was a fully legit website and they actually took your money and delivered the subs that they promised you, which I would even venture to assume would be a stretch, right? Let's even say that happened, right? You spent X amount of money, you got X amount of subscribers, or you spent X amount of money and you got any of these other things that I'm saying don't purchase. It would actually hurt your channel. It would torpedo your channel, okay? First and foremost, YouTube does these purges, these annual purges, where they kind of look at these things, and while they won't necessarily shut your channel down, unless you're just blatantly doing it and blatantly disregarding the terms of service, if you buy here, a little bit here, or a little bit of subs here, or a little bit of views, or a little bit of likes here, they're not necessarily going to shut your channel down, but what they will do is they'll take them all away, right? It happens to me. I don't even buy subs. I don't even buy views, or I don't buy any of these things, and it happens to me. It happens to everybody else that I network with. There's a time during the year where YouTube does these annual purges, and they'll go through and they'll literally say to you, it looks like you have, X amount of fake views or X amount of potential X likes. We're removing a lot of these, simulated likes or simulated views on your channel, right? So they already do that, so you're wasting your money, and that's number one. Number two, even if you went to the site, right? I almost just gave you the finger. Even if you went to the site, right? And then they, they delivered the views or the subs that they promised you, right? And even if YouTube didn't take them away in the future, it would still hurt your channel. The reason being is it's going to kill your engagement. And we've already talked about, when we talked about the YouTube algorithm and all the factors that go involved in ranking your videos against other related videos and getting your videos the initial push. If you buy subscribers, for example, just to give you the number one, because that's what most people want to do. If you buy subscribers, what it's going to do is it's going to give you dead subscribers that are either bots or don't care about your channel, and your videos are going to be pushed out to those people, and they're not going to engage with your content, and that's going to kill your engagement rate in the future and hurt your channel in the long run. So heed my warning. Don't do it. Don't buy subs. Don't buy views. Don't buy comments. Don't buy likes. Don't buy anything. It's about consistent progress and putting out consistent quality content, improving your content, and building a niche audience where you can then use that as a springboard to get your content out to other people. That's how you grow. Don't buy anything. So let's talk about your description and all the different things that you can potentially put in your description, / what I recommend that you might put in there and what I recommend that you maybe want to leave out, although you could if you want to. So all these things are things that I put in my description and things that you can put in yours as well to help increase your SEO and get your videos more views, obviously, but also help sell more, build more brand awareness, and capture your subscriber / viewer to your own lists and your own engagement on other platforms, okay? So this is super important. Number one is SEO description. And you want to SEO out your description and add keywords in your description, okay? And this is something that I learned from Graham Stephan and something I did not do. I actually spent $500 for his YouTube course about a year ago, and it had some great insight in it. One of the key takeaways, and there was a number of things, he's currently, I think at the time of watching that, he was like 200,000 subscribers. Now he's above 1.6 million, and I'm sure that'll just continue to rise exponentially. So clearly what he was saying works, and he implements it. I've literally watched his channel blow up using these strategies, okay? He always talks about, one of the things that was a key takeaway, is he always talks about how he literally spends a lot of time writing out a detailed description. And this is twofold because you could also use this in your content strategy to put that out on other platforms, right? Turn it into a LinkedIn article, turn it into a long text form on Facebook or something like that, right? So there's multiple reasons you want to spend time typing out a long description. First and foremost, it's going to provide more keywords in your description if you're summarizing what your video is about. And it's also going to help you SEO wise, right? Because you're going to have more long tail keywords in there, more short tail keywords in there, and you're also going to have more information to give YouTube, who can then take that information and suggest it to the right people, right? Because YouTube has data on everybody. YouTube knows what your interests are. They know what my interests are. So if you give them more information in the description and write a detailed summary, they're going to have more information to suggest that to the right people. That's first and foremost. It's one of the things I learned from Graham Stephan. I've been putting into practice myself and have seen that it works for me. Most people create a video and then they skimp on their thumbnail, right? One of the most important things. Most people create a video and then they skimp on their description, and I get it because you're excited to get your video out there, you've just created it. But spend a little extra time, go hard on the thumbnail, and especially go hard on your description. Write out your summary. Use the entirety if you can. You don't have to, but try to use as much as the 5,000 characters that you get in a YouTube description as possible, okay? Next thing is affiliate links or your own products. So you can link affiliate links to make extra extra revenue if it's related to that niche and that topic in the video. You can also link your own products. I would gear you towards, unless the affiliate link is worth it, so you're going to have to decide what that means to you. make sure that the affiliate link is worth it if you're linking an affiliate link in your description. The reason being, if it's not worth it and it's not compensating you adequately, if it's something that's compensating you very, very slightly, you might want to think twice about putting it in there, because we've already talked about how the YouTube algorithm basically rewards channels that keep people on the platform longer. So for me specifically, I have two options in a lot of those, right? I can link an affiliate link that maybe is like an Amazon Associates link that pays me like a dollar or two commission. And in that specific case, it's not worth it for me because I'd rather keep people on the platform, or spend that link, for lack of a better word, spend that link on one of my own products that might be an information product that sells for like $600, right? Major difference in profit margin, major difference in risk, right? So if I'm linking a $600 product, a lot better chance for me to potentially sell that, and a lot more worth it for me to link in the description and risk sending somebody off the platform rather than a $1 or $2 commission affiliate link, right? So you got to make that judgment for yourself, but you don't want to go crazy. One of the mistakes I used to make was link everything in my description, all right? I'd be like, hey, this is the mic that I use. These are the lights that I use. This is the computer that I use. And that's a horrible way to do it, because A, it's going to clog up your description and confuse people. When they go there and they see 60 different links, they're not going to click any of them, right? So you really want to spend that, for lack of a better word, spend, like I said, the links in your description wisely, and really kind of pick maybe 5 to 10 that you value most in that video and only link them, okay? Next is something you can link is consulting. So I used to host consulting on my website, but one of the things you can do if you don't have your own website is if you go to clarity.fm, you can host consulting on clarity.fm. They're going to literally collect all the payments for you. You can get your link from there. You can set your own hourly rate. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to host and distribute your content as a search platform. So if somebody were to come on here and they type in entrepreneurship, I might pop up for that, right? But you can also grab your link to your profile, and if we go to my account really fast and grab my profile link, so if I grab the link to my profile, I can actually link this in my YouTube description, and then I can start taking calls from Clarity, and it's really easy to set up, super beginner friendly. So if you need, a consulting way to go about that, or you have an expertise and you want to start monetizing your expertise from gathering the traffic from your YouTube video and doing it consulting-wise, Clarity's a great way to start, okay? Another thing that I used to do is email capture, so I don't do that necessarily anymore because I email capture a lot of different ways in a lot of different platforms, but you should be collecting your subscribers and your viewers into your own email list, just in case in the future you don't want to be fully reliant on YouTube in case something happens. Same thing is you don't want to be fully reliant on like Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or anything like that, right? You always want to try to morph your subscribers or your viewers or your followers over to your other platforms, and you always want to capture them on your email list so you have control over your own audience, okay? So think about an email capture. For example, for me, I do online arbitrage, right? I also teach a lot of entrepreneurship insights. So two ways that I've email captured is, first and foremost, the current one for me is I literally get people on my Entrepreneur Academy. So if you go to learnentrepreneur.net, I actually give people away in my description. I give a free trial away. So this is a subscription plan where people can come and pay $11 a month for all my courses, right? Not just one-off courses. They're not spending $10 or $15 or $20 to buy one course. They're literally paying $11 a month, and then they can either hop on for as long as they want and take all the courses for that charge, or they can hop on, take as many as they want in a month and cancel, right? So it's a great way for me to give more value to my students without taking, or by taking less money. It's a win-win for both of us. So I house all my content here. I make a higher percentage because none of the third-party platforms that house my courses take a cut of that, so I get the entire cut pretty much, and you win because obviously you get to take more courses for a cheaper price if you want to. Now, one of the ways I capture emails is by giving a free trial away for this, and then I capture emails on the back end of my Teachable website, and I can market to people like that, okay? Another way that I used to capture emails was I used to give away, so for me specifically, my main info product is an online arbitrage course, right? It's an information product that sells for $600 currently. So one of the ways that I'd get people in my funnel and also capture their email, because my YouTube content was housing and based around a lot of online arbitrage and reselling content and videos, what I would do is I'd give away cheat sheets for online arbitrage, or, how to implement wholesale online arbitrage as a beginner, or 11 different, whatever the cheat sheet is, right? Come up with something to give them for free, capture their email. And then also adding emojis to draw attention to certain links. So one of the easiest ways that you can add emojis is if you go into, let me pull it up, if you go into the YouTube Studio app, right, it's going to start popping up all your data. And if you just go into videos right here, it's the second link down. You can literally click into your videos and add emojis from your phone. That's the easiest way to do it. What that's going to do, and you can check out some of my YouTube descriptions if you want some inspiration, it's just going to draw attention if you put emojis in front of certain links or in front of certain, basically paragraphs in your description. It's going to draw attention when people are looking at your description to that specific link and help you convert a lot better. So those are things that you want to think about in your description. Maybe, don't take all of them necessarily, but identify what might work for you and your business or your brand, and then maybe add 5 to 10 relevant links, but don't go crazy. Don't make the mistake that I did. Don't add every link possible. You want to focus on maybe 5 to 10. Also, make sure you're SEOing out your description and adding keywords so YouTube can suggest it to the right people. So now let's talk about your tags, okay? Now, one of the best tools, and there's two of them, and I use them both. They're both roughly the same. I like TubeBuddy a little bit better, but vidIQ is incredible too. Are just like I said, TubeBuddy and vidIQ, okay? So they basically are Google Chrome plugins, and you can download them. You'll see here's TubeBuddy right here. Here's vidIQ. So let me X out of this, and we'll go over to YouTube really fast, and I'll show you why they benefit you and why they work. Now, TubeBuddy's great. And vidIQ is great because they're going to give you a lot more information on your channel. Here's like the vidIQ plugin. Here's the TubeBuddy plugin, and there's a lot of different things that come with this. I'm not going to, create a tutorial on vidIQ and TubeBuddy. There's already tutorials on them that you can basically utilize, but I'll show you some of the functions that I like and I use to basically get my message across and really help out and grow my YouTube channel. Now, remember from the last lecture, we talked about the 5,000 character limit right here. It's going to show you that. It's also going to count for you. Same thing for the tags, right? So there's a 500 character limit in tags, and as you kind of add tags in here, it's going to start counting those for you on how long your character limit is for tags, so you know how many you have potentially left. Very, very helpful. Now, if you don't want to actually go ahead and download vidIQ or TubeBuddy, both of them are 100% free, so there are paid versions of them, but you don't need the paid version. I have the paid version. I think I have like the master version of TubeBuddy. I don't even remember what it's called, but you don't need it. You can just use the free version for everything that I'm going to go over in this. You don't need to upgrade if you don't want to, okay? So to recap, right? TubeBuddy and vidIQ are great plugins. You have a 500 character word count limit. So if you're not going to use one of these or you don't want to download them, you can go over, one of the ways that you can hack that is go over to wordcounter.net, and it's going to start counting up all your words for you if you don't want to actually do that, right? So same thing as all the others, you're going to start typing, and it's just going to start counting your words. So when you get to that 500 character limit, you can literally just copy and paste all these and then paste them in. Now, you either need to, one of the ways that you can do it is, let's say like hashtags, right? Then comma, then hashtag abuse, then hashtag tips, right? These are all separated by commas and a space. And then you're going to literally paste these in, and they're going to come in as individual tags in word counter. So that's another way that you can hack it, okay? One of the easiest ways to do it is just download the plugins. But for whatever reason, if you don't have Google Chrome or you don't use it or you don't want to use it, then just use word counter. It's going to help you a lot, okay? So longer tail keywords are ideal, especially when you're small. So if you have a smaller channel that's like under 10,000, you probably want to shoot for more longer tail keywords than general ones. Now, what I'm going to say to you is you do want to use a mix of general ones and long tail. So what you want to do is, for example, like I'm uploading a Mercari video right here. So what I would want to do with this is I would want to come up with like long tail keywords and general keywords, right? So even though I have 6,000 subscribers roughly right now, let's X out of this. I don't know why it keeps clicking. I'm trying to hit the X there. There we go. Jeez. So even though I have 25,000 subscribers, I would still struggle to rank for something super general like Mercari because it's too general, right? So even if you're small, you don't want to go after main keywords like this because you're never going to rank for them. So what you want to do is more long tail, which means more potential words in there and longer tail description of that keyword. So maybe I want to go like Mercari tips for new sellers. How to sell more on Mercari, right? And those are longer tail as opposed to just like Mercari or Mercari tips, right? So I might rank for Mercari tips, but it's going to be a lot more competitive than ranking for something like Mercari tips for new sellers, okay? So the key there is, You want to mix general and long tail ones, but you want to go after more long tail keywords when you're smaller. It's going to be easier for you to rank for those, and it's going to help you build momentum, okay? Also, you want to front load your most important keywords. What I mean by that, because people always ask me what I mean by front load. Same thing in your description. You want to front load a lot of your main keywords in your description. Is whatever comes first, whatever you type your keywords in first, that's at the front, right? Front load your main keywords that you're trying to rank for. That's really going to help you out, okay? Now, another thing that you can use is you can use the TubeBuddy Explorer that comes with TubeBuddy for free. I'll show you how to use that in a second, and that's going to give you great tags. It's literally going to break down your channel authority and what you potentially rank for. It's going to show you the competition. It's a great way to do it. Another way that you can do it if you're feeling lazy or you're strapped for time is go to a relevant video that's also doing well and just copy the tags from there, right? So I'll show you how to do both of those. If I were going to go try to find a Mercari video, I would literally type in like Mercari tips for beginners, right? And I would see what pops up. And you do need, keep in mind, you do need either vidIQ or TubeBuddy's extension to copy these keywords. But so this was 7 months ago, and this girl got 17,000 views. Mercari tips for beginners, not too bad. Now this guy has practically no subscribers, and he's gotten 16,000 views. So maybe I want to take this because clearly he either has good tags, or something's working with this video. So because I have the TubeBuddy extension and the vidIQ extension, it's going to pop these up on the side for me, and it's going to show me exactly what his tags are. I can see what he's ranking for these tags, right? So that's why his video is doing very well. He's ranked first for how to get more sales on Mercari. He's ranked first for how to get more sales on Mercari 2019. It's showing me all his rankings, and I can also copy all those to the clipboard. And if I come back in here, I can literally paste them in. Right? Boom. Now I have all his tags, and hopefully my video will potentially rank just as well if it's, the same value, same kind of content, production quality, and everything else, and same insight, then maybe it can do just as well or significantly better, or, at least get it the best chance to do so, okay? So you can copy the tags from a relevant video if you're feeling lazy. Another way, if you really want to do some in-depth research, is click TubeBuddy, and remember, this is free, and then come over to Keyword Explorer. And what this is going to do is it's going to use your channel data to run your channel authority potential for ranking keywords in search results against other competing videos. It's going to show you the competition and how many other videos there are and what your chance to rank for that keyword is, right? So what if I typed in Mercari for beginners? And we'll see what it pops up. It's going to show the overall score. So this is a good one. It's not great. It's a 42 out of 100. Now there's not much search volume, and that's why it's not that great, right? So not many people come to the YouTube search bar and type in Mercari for beginners. There's barely any competition, so that's excellent. And my channel's very optimized for it and has good channel authority to rank for that potentially, but there's just not enough search volume, right? So what if we say like Mercari, sell more on Mercari? And you can play around with this and add these in your tags. You can also play around with this, and literally what I like to do is copy these tags, and I'll put them in my tags, but then I'll also try to throw them in my description to rank twice for them, okay? Same thing with this. I'm not going to waste your time, but you can utilize it. It's got low search volume, as you can see here. Although there's not much competition, the competition's good. Obviously, the lower you get down here to the red, means the more competition, okay? So it's a little counterintuitive, but the green means good, obviously, or the red means bad. So you can play around with this. It's going to really help you out. But that's basically everything that you need to know about tags. I really hope that it helps. So let's talk about your titles as well, okay? Just like the tags, you want to focus on the longer side of the scale, right? So longer tail keywords potentially when you're a smaller channel. The bigger you grow, you can obviously kind of branch out and go a little bit broader. But when you're small, maybe under 10,000 or 25,000 subscribers, you want to keep it on the longer tail side of the scale, okay? You also want to utilize TubeBuddy and the Chrome extension and the Keyword Explorer to find good long tail keywords and go after evergreen titles that will rank for those keywords and bring consistent traffic, right? That's the goal when you're a small channel. Evergreen traffic, long-term traffic, consistent keyword ranking so that you can get those views, right? So if you try to go after trends or you try to go after certain spikes, you're really going to struggle and it's going to be frustrating, right? So you want long-term views, consistent evergreen titles that we're going to rank for keywords, okay? And just to reiterate what evergreen is for those of you that might have forgotten, it just means for a while, consistently, right? Not short-term. So in this specific case, it would be consistent traffic from YouTube over time because you're ranking for that keyword and it's bringing you search results and it's also bringing you relevant suggested traffic on YouTube, right? So not just a spike for a month or two. Now, one other thing I want to add to this is don't clickbait when you're a small channel. Don't do it. It's not going to work. You don't have enough channel authority yet, and not enough people care about your content yet to be clickbaited, okay? So don't clickbait when you're a small channel or a relatively small channel. Instead, go after keywords that you're sure that you can rank for, and one of the ways that you can be sure about that is using the Keyword Explorer that comes for free with TubeBuddy. Another really important thing that I want to impart on you is responding to all your comments, okay? Now, this is something that I see a lot of people not doing, and it really blows my mind on why they're not doing it. One of the reasons that you want to respond to all the comments is it's simply going to double your engagement and help your video rank higher, right? It's also going to develop a relationship with your viewer and build, a community and that know, like, and trust factor around your videos and your content, okay? Not only that, it's also going to make them feel safe commenting so that it inspires them to continue commenting on future videos when you create them. Then they'll, feel engaged and inspired to come back and comment again, okay? This is a huge game changer, and it's a huge way to build a more personal connection with the people that are already spending their valuable time watching your videos, okay? So do not take it for granted. If you respond and you're grateful for people's comments and you engage back with them, those people will be inspired to keep coming back, watching, and commenting more. So people always ask me, what's the easiest way to grow on YouTube? What's the simple hack or the secret that nobody's telling you, right? And there isn't one, okay? There's no secret. I don't care what business you're in. If it's YouTube, if it's something else, there's no secret that successful people are not telling you, right? One of the ways that you can grow on YouTube easier, though, is to not just focus on YouTube, okay? I know that's counterproductive. I know it seems counterintuitive, but just hear me out, okay? So you should not just be posting your content and focusing solely on YouTube to grow on YouTube, okay? You should be focusing on all content platforms and kind of uploading your content and growing communities in all of them, because if you focus on uploading the same type of content to Instagram, for example, right? Or the same type of content on a Facebook page, or growing your TikTok, or growing your Twitter, right? All those social media platforms are going to funnel traffic and subscribers and viewers and followers to each other, right? Because you can link, for example, if we go to my profile on Twitter, you can link to your YouTube channel on Twitter. Same thing on TikTok. You can link obviously we're not in the TikTok app, but you can link to your Instagram and your YouTube on TikTok, right? And TikTok is blowing up currently. So if you're growing more followers on TikTok, well, common sense will tell you that a general portion of those followers are going to see your link if they're interested in your content and they like it, and potentially go to your Instagram and subscribe and follow you there, or go to your YouTube channel and subscribe there, right? Same thing with a Facebook page. You can link with Facebook pages, right? So if I go to my Facebook page, obviously I'm growing a following here, and I have my website linked, my consulting linked, right? My YouTube channel linked, right? So all that stuff's linked. So if I'm growing a community here, a lot of these people are going to potentially come over and show up on my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook, right? My TikTok, my YouTube channel, etc., etc. Same thing with Instagram. You can use your bio link to funnel traffic to your website or your YouTube channel or whatever, okay? The whole message here being, while you do want to focus, if you're trying to grow on YouTube, a lot of your attention on YouTube, also focus on growing a lot of your other social media followings, because the key here is all your social media is going to funnel traffic to each other. Your Instagram is going to funnel traffic to your YouTube. Your YouTube is going to funnel traffic to your Facebook page. Your Facebook page is going to funnel traffic to your TikTok, right? And etc., etc. So utilize them all. They're all going to help you grow exponentially everywhere. Another thing I do want to add really quickly is one of the best tips that I could give you, if not the best tip, is to simply enjoy yourself, right? Have fun creating videos. If you don't like creating videos, chances are you probably shouldn't be creating content, and you shouldn't have a YouTube channel, okay? That's why I suggest to pick something that you like, pick a niche or a subject matter that you're interested in, because it will be easier to enjoy creating content on that, and your passion will radiate through the camera or, the computer or the audio or whatever you're doing, right? If you're having fun, your audience will be able to tell, and it will be easier for them to enjoy the content because they'll be having fun too, right? Your energy is infectious, so pick something that you like and enjoy the process. Alright, so here's a few mistakes that I've learned throughout my journey that if I can impart on you, hopefully you can avoid them, because they are massive mistakes and they will torpedo your channel. Now, if you can avoid these, it's going to help you, and if you can obviously correct these ahead of time by this knowledge, right, from this video, then it's really going to help you long-term grow your channel, okay? So first and foremost, dropping links in random Facebook groups and forums, doesn't matter what the forum is, it doesn't matter what the Facebook group is about, is really going to hurt your channel. Why is that? it's going to kill your engagement, because anybody that comes to your video from a forum or a Facebook group, chances are is going to be low quality traffic, not that interested. You kind of got them there by enticing them to click the link, but they're not a high quality lead. They're not a high quality viewer. They're not going to care about the message in your video most of the time. So that's going to kill your engagement rate, and that's going to kill your video's traction and not, propel it to the rest of your audience, because YouTube is going to see those people that came to your video, they weren't interested, and think that your video sucks. So don't drop random links in Facebook groups or forums. It's just going to hurt your video. The next thing that's going to hurt your video, sub for sub. Don't do it. Sub for sub, same overall message, right? Even if you do sub for sub and the other people stay subscribed, which, most of them don't, even if they did stay subscribed, right? What's going to happen is they're going to be dead subscribers. They're not going to care about your content because they never came there with the intention of subscribing to watch your content. They only came there with the intention of subscribing so that you would subscribe back to their channel. It's going to kill your engagement, like we talked about, and it's only going to hurt your videos in the future. You don't want dead subscribers. You are much better with 100 quality subscribers than 100,000, dead subscribers where you only have 20 subscribers that are real, right? Because if you have 100 quality subscribers, YouTube is going to use them as a gauge to judge how good your content is, how engaging your content is, and how well your audience is responding to your content. So if you have good quality subscribers, even if it's a low amount of subscribers in the beginning, YouTube is going to see that your community is engaged, and they're going to take more chances, suggesting your content out to other people, and you'll grow a lot exponentially faster, and you'll have more audience retention, more ad revenue, obviously, because more views and more people will be watching your channel, and you won't have dead subscribers. So make sure not to drop links, and don't do sub for sub. It's two huge mistakes that almost everybody makes, and if you can avoid them, it's really going to help your channel. The next thing is going for a broad audience and not picking a specific niche. Now, I've hit this home in so many videos, but just niche down. It's going to help you grow. It's going to help you build traction and really kind of, help you build consistency video to video, right? Because, for example, one of the mistakes that I made was I used to create content on pretty much like everything e-commerce and marketing, and people would come to a video and subscribe for like email marketing tips, and then the next video would be like online arbitrage, and the next video would be like drop shipping. And it would be all over the place, and I'd have dead subscribers because somebody subscribed for X, but then they got Y, Z, and A, right? Or somebody subscribed for A, but then I brought them C, D, and G. And it never really worked out. So niche down so every single person that subscribes for that reason, and then you can build traction and consistency slowly over time. And then once you grow bigger, you can kind of branch out a little bit, but you want to pick a specific niche. It's going to really help you gain traction, and you'll grow a lot faster and build consistency. Another thing to avoid, don't wing videos. Even if you're doing a tutorial about something that that's really the only time where it's somewhat okay. But for most videos, I either recommend, if you're filming with a camera face-to-face, get a teleprompter. One of the ones that I recommend is the Parrot teleprompter. It's phenomenal. It pops right in front of your camera. They can't see it. The audience can't see it, but you can read right off of it. Phenomenal game changer. If you're reading off of a computer, right, then you want to at least have a plan. So whether you want to do like a presentation like this, or you want to have some notes that are sitting on the side that you can go through to make sure you hit these points, because I want to make sure that I'm not wasting your time, number one. Same thing for you with your audience. And I want to make sure that I'm hitting home the important points that I want to hit home. And because if I take a minute, right, and I sit here and I think like, what was that next point? I can check my thing and just cut it out of the video. You'll never know. So always have a plan, unless you're doing a tutorial where you really know a lot about it, you should still really have a plan, some notes, some key points you want to hit, or use a teleprompter. Always have a plan. Don't wing your videos. Being original is the next one. That's overrated, okay? You don't need to be original on YouTube. Look at what works for other people. If you try to be original, you're probably going to be banging your head against the same metaphorical wall, and you're never going to gain any traction, because it's easier to go after what works in business or in YouTube rather than trying to create a new niche or a new market or a new product that nobody's ever seen before, because it's not proven. Could it work? Sure. Could it blow up? Sure. But chances are it probably won't. So trying to be original is completely overrated. Don't do it. See what works for other people in your niche. Replicate that process. Another one that's big is worrying about what other people think. If you worry about what other people think too much, you're going to stay in the same place, because you're always going to be trying to please everybody, and it's just going to serve to keep you stationary. So stop worrying about what other people think. Check yourself, worry about what you think, and measure yourself up against your own progress every day. What other people think is irrelevant. Also, don't copy what big YouTubers do. huge mistake. Even if you're growing bigger, don't copy what big YouTubers do. Build your niche, give more value, grow consistent audience, and give more to that audience, and you'll grow, right? Don't copy what big YouTubers do. Another example of this would be don't clickbait. Just don't do it. It's just don't do it, okay? And then finally, overlooking the importance of thumbnails. Thumbnails are crucial. They're literally what captures 99.9% of people's attention. Your title obviously helps. It's going to help you rank higher in search results for evergreen keywords. But don't overlook the importance of thumbnails. People have said you should be spending at least the same amount of time on your thumbnail. It's a bit of a stretch, but I wouldn't overlook your thumbnail. If it's taking you 5 minutes to do your thumbnail, it should take you, multiply that by 4. It should be taking you 20 minutes to do your thumbnail. If it's taking you 20 minutes, multiply that by 4. It should be taking you, 60 minutes to do your thumbnail. I totally didn't do that math right. It should be taking you 80 minutes to do your thumbnail, okay? So don't overlook the importance of thumbnails. They're crucial, and they're literally what captures the audience's attention. So that's basically the 8 crucial mistakes that if you can avoid, your channel's going to grow a lot faster. So there you have it, guys. I really hope you got a lot of value out of this course. I love, as you can tell, talking about YouTube, how to grow on YouTube. There's so much value to growing a YouTube channel. Not just your traditional ad revenue, right? Not just, anything that comes along the lines of notoriety or anything like that. There's so much business value in growing a YouTube. And obviously, it's enjoyable to create content and edit content. I have a passion for that. If you watched this far into the course, I'm sure you do too, right? So you can grow an audience. You can start building leads. You can really leverage a main business with a YouTube channel. There's so much potential here, but that's not what this course is about. So I highly recommend that you don't just dabble in this. If you're serious, take it seriously. Treat your YouTube channel like it is a business, and it will pay you massive dividends. Maybe not right away, but down the line for sure, okay? So I really hope you got a lot of value out of this. As always, I've been in the trenches creating videos, I don't know, 2 maybe 2.5 years now, roughly. Not just on YouTube, but on a number of other sites. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to answer them for you. But with that being said, I hope to see you in the next one.